Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. Hold on. I'm just clicking on Instagram so I can go live there. And it's thinking, oh, there I am. Okay. Okay. There I am. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? I am so sorry. Yesterday got so um, we'll just say it had to be rearranged. And today I was supposed to be on, let's see, I can't remember her name because, I'm Humanity Live, and I got a message yesterday afternoon saying that she had to reschedule. So, oh, look, I got somebody watching already. Is Thursday better for y'all to watch? That was quick. So we're going to reschedule that. We don't have a time or a date yet to reschedule, but we are working on that. So let me know if you can hear me. Drop me a comment. I don't know if I'll be able to see everybody's comments. Oh, there I am. Okay. Um, yeah. So let me know if you can see and hear me. I know you can see me because I can see myself. I have been all over the place lately. I've been doing podcast. I filmed what did I film? I filmed a retirement summit of last week before last. I've got something in the works for June, so stand by for that. That's going to be for all my female veterans. We're going to have such a treat for you in June. I'm so excited about this, but I can't tell you anymore. But if you are a female veteran or a woman that has served in the military and you are a business owner, nonprofit, anything like that, and you are interested in being part of maybe a summit and getting your message out there, drop me a comment and I would love to talk to you. So, all right, I think I've got everything going. So today we're going to talk about retirement because y'all know that is um, just it's very close to my heart because I think it's so important, and I want everybody to know that, um, in case no one's told you, a good retirement doesn't accidentally happen. I know that's a news flash to a lot of people, but I am here to tell you that it is a fact. Always made me so sad when I was in the military and we always had to check out whatever command you're at when you're getting ready to retire. There's a lot of stuff you have to do, and part of it is checking out to your current command. I was on the list of people they had to check out with. Just a side job I did. So when people would come, I'd always say, "Oh, how exciting. You're retiring. Where are you going? What are you going to do?" And 9 out of 10 times they would tell me, "Well, it depends on I don't know where I'm going to live yet. It depends on where I get a job." Really? You just spent 20 plus years giving your life to the military, and now the rest of your life depends on where you're getting a job. That is so sad. It made me sad every time someone said that to me. So I want to make sure it is my mission. And I'm really concentrating on the ladies, but you know what? This is good advice for you men too, because a good retirement doesn't accidentally happen. You really have to plan for it. So, that's what we're going to talk about today. I did find an article. Y'all know I'm always reading articles, and I know you don't have time for all that because you're not retired, but I wanted to share this one with you. It's actually a Dave Ramsey one, and I don't know if he can't count or if someone else that wrote the article for him can't count because it says 10 tips. I only counted like 6, unless he's counting all the little things that are in there. I don't know. But so here's some tips for retirement planning. First off, you need to set your retirement goals. 48% of workers have even tried to calculate what they're going to need in retirement. 48%. I find that amazing. So we don't want you to be part of that 48%. We want you to be part of that 52% that has calculated. Now, I do want you to understand that your expenses are going to change when you retire. Because I know when my husband and he retired before I did, y'all know that. So when we got ready to retire, I was like, we can't afford to retire. I mean, we were putting a big chunk of our paychecks into savings, into investments. So we got a hold of our financial guy, set an appointment, went in and talked to him. And if you don't have a guy, if you don't have a financial guy, I'm going to tell you, you need to get one, guy or girl. I don't care. But you need to find somebody that that is their job to handle your money. Okay. Because I don't know about you, but I don't have the time or energy to follow the stock markets and the mutual funds and all the other stuff that's out there that we really need to be, we need to be knowledgeable about. So, we're like, when you retire, do you keep that's what you've been investing and saving for all this time. Do you keep putting that money in? He's like, well, no. Oh, well, that clears up a lot of our money. How about that? And, it's funny, but you don't know what you don't know. So you need to really look at your retirement goals. What kind of retirement do you want? And it's so important to ask yourself that. Do you plan on still maybe working after you retire? When I say working, it could be a part time job, it could be volunteering, it could be, developing maybe a hobby into a side hustle. There's a lot of things that you can do when you retire. Is that something you wanna do or not? Or do you just want my husband is happily retired, and he will tell you that with a quickness. He told me a couple of years ago, because 'cause I've tried different things, I've done real estate, I've done direct sales, I've done quite a few things, finding out what I wanted. So, he told me, "I just don't do anything where I would have to go get another job." So that's our agreement. As long as I don't do anything to like lose money where he would have to go get a job, then he's good. All right. So now that we've got that covered, that's his requirement. That is his retirement goal is to stay retired. But what kind of retirement? What do you want to do in your retirement? Do you want to travel? Do you want to continue to work? Do you want to volunteer? Do you want to get involved with a nonprofit? What does that look like for you? And where do you want to live when you retire? We did a lot of research before we settled in Tennessee. We're in Middle Tennessee. We looked at things, of course, we're retired military. So we looked at things like healthcare. What's the VA system like? The VA system in Nashville, we're about an hour outside of Nashville. The VA system in Nashville is associated with Vanderbilt, which is a very good hospital. We don't want to go into Nashville to go to the VA, but it's there if, worst case scenario, we need it. We looked at our proximity to a base. We looked at were they going to tax our retirement? We looked at the cost of living. We looked at a lot of things. We looked at climate because there was a lot of states that fit they checked all the other boxes, but they were up north. I'm a Louisiana girl. This is as far north as I want to go. So we knew that we did not want to live with snow in the wintertime. So it was a lot of things that went into it. Have you looked at that? Like we actually bought our property before we retired and we did a lot of work to it before we retired. So that way, when we retired, it was a lot of the well was dug, the electricity was ran. We lived in my husband has a shop. So, his man cave. And we had a pop-up camper and we lived in that while we built the house. So, what are you doing to plan your retirement? How much money are you going to need? That is such an important part of retirement. Are you going to have the money to retire how you want to retire? If you want to travel, maybe you want to buy a travel trailer. And I've seen a lot of people get out of the military and want to do that. They've seen the world, they want to see their own country. So they buy a travel trailer and they hit the road. Do you have the money to do that? Do you have the money to retire how you want to retire? So, and what are you doing to get that done? Are how much money do you have to invest every month? Where's that money coming from? Those accounts, like which investments do you choose? And like I told you, I am not an investment person. That is not what I do. But you need to find somebody and shop around. Not all financial people are the same. They have these commercials with fiduciaries. They don't make money unless you make money. I love that concept. So if I lose money, you lose money. We're in this together. So something to look at and just shop around. Look at the fees. How much are they going to charge you to handle your money? But a lot of a lot of times when people as they go through their career and young people, if you're sitting there and you're like, "Oh, I'm in my 20s. I don't have to worry about that for a long time." If you plan now, you will not be worrying about it when you get to my age and you're getting ready to retire. So because time is on your side at this point. So start putting that money away. Start looking at investments because you could put a little bit away now and that's going to grow over time. As we're somebody my age that is trying to figure out what they're going to do or if they can afford to retire, now for them to put money away, it's going to take a lot more. So you really want to start young with this. And as you go up in your career, you're advanced, or you get promotions, or you've got your own business and you start making more money. Instead of getting in that cycle of, oh, I made more money, so I get to spend more money. Why not take the difference between what you were living on before you got that raise or your business stepped up. Take that extra money and invest it and put it someplace safe instead of, just spending it. Because once you spend it, it is gone. So if you've lived on the amount of money before, then continue to live on that money and just take that extra money and stash it away. You will thank me later. You will thank yourself later. All right. And this goes hand in hand with the next one. Get out of debt. If you are carrying, especially credit card debt, if you are carrying a lot of credit card debt, you need to get rid of that. Start paying that off because when you retire, like I said, your expenses are going to change. So you definitely want to, sorry, I was checking my time. You definitely want to minimize the debt that you have, pay off those credit cards. And this is definitely a Dave Ramsey thing. Start with the smallest one, pay it off. Go to the next one. Take whatever you were paying on the smallest one, go to the next one, pay it off. And you're snowballing that amount. So by the time you get to the highest credit card debt, you've got all those other ones paid off, and you're taking that amount and you're pouring it to that into that bigger credit card so you get it paid off sooner. Cars, vehicles, we all know they depreciate the minute you drive them off the lot. So look at used cars. You can find a lot of used cars out there with low mileage that are cheaper than what you're going to get at the dealership. So look into that and there are very few cases. I won't say you don't need to. There are very few cases where you really need a new car every so many years. If you're on the road, you're traveling a lot, you know your situation. But definitely look at that because, when you retire, your income goes down, so your bills need to go down also. Your housing, can you pay for your housing? Can you, if you oh, that was my husband. If you are you going to build your own home? Can you pay for it as you build it? Can you do a lot of the work yourself? Things to look at because it's nice just to have, your utilities, your phone, YouTube, things like that, as your bills, and not having a car note, a house note, credit card bills, all of that. Then you put yourself into a situation where you have to work just to pay the minimum, just to survive. And no one wants to do that when they're retired. All right, the next one, create an emergency fund. Okay, if you don't have an emergency fund, what I would suggest to you is get your emergency fund at least $1,000, at least $1,000, and then start paying off your credit card bills. Okay. So make your minimum payment for your credit cards, build your emergency fund to $1,000, and then start that snowball on your credit cards and leave that emergency fund. Put it somewhere where it is actually hard to get to. not where you have a debit card and you can just go down and get it out or whatever. So definitely something to look at. An emergency fund, they talk about you have an emergency fund of $1,000, but do you have a fund where you could live 3 to 6 months of expenses? So get your small one because that's like a flat tire, maybe you need a new windshield. I mean, any number of things. So, but do you have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses stashed away just in case? Um, you know, a lot of people when they retire, it's like, okay, how does that transition work? Sometimes I know in the military, sometimes there is a delay in getting your pay or getting your subsidized, whatever. So sometimes there are delays in that money coming in. So you have to be prepared for that. And sometimes, the government decides to shut down and all of a sudden you're not getting paid. So do you have that emergency fund of 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses that you can do? All right, the next thing he talks about is 15% of your income. I know for some of y'all that sounds like a lot. For some of you, it is a lot. You're already struggling to, am I going to buy groceries or am I going to pay the electric bill? Maybe I can switch some utility checks when I mail them in. Does anybody mail them in anymore? That was the way we used to, float checks. Not that I'm telling you to float check. That's bad. All right. Yeah, and like I talked about earlier, the compound interest for you people younger in your 20s, 30s, time is on your side. The longer you wait to start this process, the more you have to invest. Take those promotion, those raises, things like that, put that extra money in. All right. And if you don't know anything about that, like I said, you need to find somebody. Find somebody that's really good. All right. Bonus tips. So, like I said, it said 10. I don't know. Maybe they counted the bonus tips as each one separate. Be insurance wise. Yeah. Everybody loves insurance. There's minimums that we have to have, for our cars, for if you have a home, you want homeowners insurance. As you get older, they add extra ones. Do you need elderly care? Oh, I hope not. But do you need life insurance? When we left the military, to continue the life insurance through the military was very expensive. So we looked around, and even before we retired, we got life insurance. Now, one of the things that I want to tell you about life insurance, there's whole life, which is very expensive, So look at that and talk to someone that knows, not an insurance person. Don't talk to an insurance person about whether you need more insurance, but really do some research and say, if I'm investing my 15% in, my savings and my investments, then do I need a whole life insurance that is kind of like a savings account? Maybe not, but that's for you to decide. I'm not telling you yes or no. I'm telling you to research it and make an informed decision. Also, like life insurance, when we first retired, we had a business. So we bought life insurance. And the main reason we bought life insurance is that if something happened to one of us, the other one could take the life insurance and pay off the business. And that way we would have a business free and clear. Well, now we don't have a business. So we bought a term policy, which I think it's got 10 more years or something like that. So before that expires, we have to decide, do we want to continue to purchase life insurance somewhere else, or do we need to, or can we let the life insurance go? Can we afford to bury the other person? Okay. I know it sounds kind of morbid, but that's something you need to think about. Do you have a home? Now, a lot of banks and finance companies will offer you insurance on your home. Be careful of this because as the value of your home goes down, that insurance premium never goes down. It doesn't adjust as what you owe on your home adjust. So you might want to, instead of getting it attached to your home, why not just get a homeowner's policy that says, if this person, uh, when this person passes away, then the beneficiary will get it, and they can decide what they want to spend the money on. Do they wanna take that money and pay off the home? And that way I hope that makes sense. Okay? So if you get it through, like, I don't know if it's the finance company, but you can get it when you buy your home, you can get of homeowners insurance. So that's yeah. To me, I would rather have a term life policy, and that way I can decide what I'm gonna do with that money. It's not gonna just, because maybe you have other bills that you need to get rid of before you actually worry about paying off the home, or you're gonna sell the home and move. Um, Save for your children's college education. Yes, that is important. But what I'm gonna tell you is that there are grants out there are loans, and I know kids are getting out of college with a lot of debt, a lot more than what we grew up with. There's the military that will give you free college. So there are alternatives. Do not put yourself in a situation where you cannot afford to retire to send your kids to college. And that may sound cold to some of you. But you know what? That's reality, because are those kids gonna be there to take care of you, or, when you can't afford to live on your own because you sent them to college? Something to think about. And I know some of y'all just gasped. We have a 529, I will tell you that. We have a 529 for our grandchildren. We have one daughter who didn't go to college. We have another one that did, and she's got student loans and she's paying those off. So maybe we're bad parents. I don't know. You decide, or whatever. Or you worry about yours. All right. Avoid co-signing loans. And there's are there people that you would co-sign a loan for? Well, of course there are. We go back to the children, but do not put yourself in a bad situation. Do not risk your future retirement to co-sign a loan for somebody. Okay. You can give them tools to help them build their own credit. Maybe when they're young or they're in college, help them get a loan. Maybe co-sign a $500 loan for them and let them make payments on it. Just don't go crazy with it. Don't co-sign for someone else's home. So be careful of that. Start early. We've talked about this several times, but the earlier you start, the more compound interest is going to be your friend. If you don't know what compound interest is, ask somebody, do some research. But those of you who are out there in your 20s, and this is the perfect time for you. And this kinda goes without saying, but don't rely on Social Security to be your only, form of income, because we all know that we're lucky at this point that it's still around. And if people tell you to wait until you're like 70 because you'll get more money, that's something you need to research too. There's plenty of articles out there that talk about Social Security and how long it takes you to actually catch up if you take it early. Me, I'm taking it as soon as I'm eligible for it, because who knows if it's going to be there tomorrow, and who knows if I'm going to be here tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to take it as soon as I can. Every time my husband and I say that, our financial guy just shakes his head. He's like, "Oh, we'll talk about that later." There's nothing to talk about. Okay. So that's something where you need to do your research and you need to make the decision that's best for you. All right. Well, I got 6 minutes left. So if y'all got any questions or anything like that, please drop me some comment. I got a couple of hearts. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Love the hearts. Um, and if there's something in particular that you would like to talk about, that you would like me to talk about, then definitely reach out, send me a DM, send a message under this. Anything that my main focus is with my business is to help women who have served in the military transition into civilian life. But I know there's a lot of people out there of that are maybe in the corporate world, and they are getting ready to transition out of the corporate world into civilian life. So, is it the same? I don't know. I was never in corporate America, but I think some of the things that we talk about uh, are applicable across the board. I had to think of the word. So, what else is going on in our world? Today, we dropped the episode at noon, so it is out on What's Her Superpower podcast. We have Cheryl Parker, and if you have ever experienced a loss, you need to listen to this. Cheryl lost her daughter, I want to say 8 years old, and just the grief that she went through and how she talks about people don't know how to talk to you when you've lost someone like that. They don't know what to do. Do they say the wrong thing? Usually, yes, but they try. So she really talks about that, and she took her grief and now she's helping other people deal with theirs. And one of the things that I thought was really good, she also actually goes into businesses and talks to like a business group and talks to them about how to talk to people after they've experienced grief. So check that out. Today I'm recording. I don't know when it's going to air, so I'll let y'all know about that. Saturday, I'm so excited about this. Money and mindset. Y'all know this is close to my heart. I love this subject because, especially as women, we really have this. This is our problem. And I'm not saying I'm immune to this, okay? This is our problem. The space between our two ears is will hold us back from being the person that we were meant to be. And that is not acceptable. So, and it also holds us back from making the money that we're supposed to make. And y'all know I'm not telling you that money buys happiness, but it does buy you choices, does give you choices. So, and ladies, a man is not a backup plan. So we all need a bit of backup plan. So that's what I'm going to be talking about Saturday. I will get y'all the information. It is in a private group, so you'll have to join her group. But yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to share it into my group or my social media at all, but I will get you the information and tune in and watch it. And if she gives me a recording, I will share it. But she probably wants you in her group, but I will let y'all know about that. The retirement ceremony I recorded a couple of weeks ago. It will be out in, I think my episode of airs in June. And I'm also working on my own summit in June. And there will be more details about that to come. Ooh, I think I'm talked out. I'm going to have to rest before my next interview. All right. I love y'all so much. Have a great weekend. I kind of let me know if you like Thursdays for the lunch and learn. Yesterday I had a dental appointment, or I would have, well, no, I didn't find out it was canceled until yesterday afternoon. So yeah, I wouldn't have been on yesterday anyway. But let me know if you like Thursday better than Wednesday, and I will see y'all next week on Wednesday. All right. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.